Hello, good morning, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd do, everyone say what a lot of people seem to like the fact that I sit here and chat. So I thought I'd do another one. And my friend actually came up with this. I was out with the girls the other night and they said, how about doing things that were around when I was younger, so the 60s and 70s. I was born in 1956. So things that were around when I was younger. So I've been looking on the Google, as you do, and obviously I remembered some of the things, but I did get sort of quite a bit more. So I thought I would put them into a couple of categories. So I thought I would do TV, also along the line of TV, some of the adverts that there used to be, what we used to wear, and toys that were around, and then just sort of other bits that I remember. So I hope that's something you will be interested in. It did take me back, and yeah, I got to thinking about lots of different things. But what I've tried to do with the help of Google is get some photographs up. So I will put them up here when I talk about them. So that's why I'm over this way a bit more today. Should we start with TV? There were some brilliant TV, I think, back in the 70s. I mean, I didn't really watch TV in the 60s because I would have only been, young and early teens in the 60s. So I didn't really watch a lot of television back then, but most of what I watched on the television were in the 70s, but some of them actually started in the 60s. But I think all of these are the 70s. So one of the first ones, I'm sorry, I've got notes, so brain like a sieve, I would forget it otherwise. One of the first ones, and I think I talked about this before when I was talking about favourites of mine. One was, The Sweeney with John Thor and Dennis Waterman. Absolutely loved that programme. My goodness, they wouldn't do that today, would they? But back then, for television, I thought it was brilliant. Really, really liked The Sweeney. For those of you younger, a lot younger, you probably won't remember it, well, you certainly won't remember it if you're younger, but you may not have even heard of it. I don't know. And I have had, thank you so much, I've had quite a few new subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. So thank you so much. If you're one of those new subscribers, I hope you'll stick around. And if you're one that used to watch me and don't anymore for whatever reason, I hope you come back. But anyway, the first one is The Sweeney. Second one was my absolute favourite, was Starsky and Hutch with David Soul and Paul Michael Glaser. Brilliant. American again. Well, no, The Sweeney was British. American Starsky and Hutch with the red, was it a Toledo or Tornado or something? The car red with the white stripe. I just thought they were absolutely brilliant. I had a good crush on Paul Michael Glaser back in the day. Oh, I thought he was lovely. Another one was Happy Days with the Fonz. I won't do it. But yeah, again, what a fantastic show that was. Another American one. Yeah, just such a fantastic show. It was a feel-good show, wasn't it? It made you feel good just sitting and watching that. And there was a lot of things in there that us Brits wouldn't have known what it was or relate to, but it just seemed good, down to earth show. and I think it was a brilliant show. Another American one which I absolutely loved was Charlie's Angels, the original Charlie's Angels, with Farrah Fawcett, Jacqueline Smith. Oh, and I can't remember the other girl's name. Farrah Fawcett, Jacqueline Smith. I'll put it up. I can't remember her name. Short, dark-haired one. Oh, I can't remember her name. Yeah, but I thought that was absolutely brilliant. And Charlie on the phone, and then was it Boswell, or was that his real name? But Charlie was always at the other end of the phone. You never saw Charlie. I think you saw the back of him a couple of times, but that was it. But again, and it's so good. Really a good something to watch on the television, wasn't it? And then a couple of British ones. I actually didn't watch this, or at least I didn't. It wasn't a favourite of mine. It was Tiswas. I can't even remember what it stood for now. I think I'll put it up. I've got a little picture, and I'll put it in the picture. Yeah, Tiswas with Chris Tarrant. Wasn't a big fan, but it was around back then, wasn't it? And then I think I used to watch this with my mum. Crossroads with Noel Gordon. The sets moved, and Benny, wasn't there? Benny with his beanie hat, and Miss Diane. I mean, it was funny, but I really enjoyed it. And of course, Coronation Street came out in the 60s, didn't it? In 1960, I think Coronation Street started. Yeah. So that's sort of, oh, another one I used to like, Dixon of Dock Green. Who remembers that? Yeah, with Jack Warner. Yeah, I just thought of that one. I hadn't even written that one down. But there's absolute loads that was around back then. I mean, I didn't watch a lot of telly back then. I was all, you know, as a child, I was outside playing with my dolls on my skate, one leg. I mean, I've talked about that in a couple of previous videos, but yeah. And then what I wanted to talk about was adverts. One of my favourite adverts back in the day, and even now, if I see it, it cracks me up, because I just think it's so funny. Was I think it was Cadbury's Smash Potato with the aliens in spaceship, and they was falling about laughing. Oh my god, it literally cracks me up even now if I see that. I thought that was a fantastic advert. Not like today. Have you seen the what advert is it for? Well, actually, I think it's most toothpastes. They're advertising the toothpaste, and they're, you know, doing their teeth with the toothbrush, but they don't actually use toothpaste, do they? I was watching. I saw an old advert for, I can't remember which one it was, and I've not written it down, but it was she was literally cleaning her teeth, and all the foam, you know, around her mouth. I mean, she was actually cleaning her teeth. Now they get a toothbrush and do this. There's no toothpaste on it, but they're advertising the toothpaste, not the toothbrush. So put toothpaste on the toothbrush if you're going to do it. If you're going to advertise something, at least use it in the advert. Sorry. See, I'll go off on a tangent. Irks me. Yeah, so, yeah, sorry. Back to the aliens. Smash. Another one was, do you remember the advert for Cadbury's Flake? There was a couple, weren't there? There was one with the girl in a bath, and there was another one with the girl walking through, I think that's the one I'm putting up, walking through a field or something, and unwraps the flake. I never used to do that. I had the flake, and I would have it still done up. I don't know if they still got them now with the twisty bits at the end, but I used to untwist, open it up and put it on the table, and then I'd like smash it with my hand, then open it up and then eat the bits. I didn't sort of eat the flake. Weird. Probably weird. Our White's lemonade. Do you remember the man came down during the night to get the White's lemonade, and he was dancing around his fridge, and then his wife was standing there looking at him. Yeah, another good one. Angel Delight. Oh, I used to love Angel Delight. You can still get it, but I haven't. I used to do it as well for my boys when they were younger. Make them up Angel Delight. Yeah, they used to love that. And you can still get it, but back then, it was a treat. If you had an Angel Delight, well, in our house, it was a treat. Loved it. Do you remember Milk Tray advert for the lady who loves Milk Tray? Got a little story to tell you. My husband, well, boyfriend back then, used to bring me a box of Milk Tray. I mean, we saw each other most days, to be fair, but every Friday after work he'd come to our house and he'd buy me a box of Milk Tray. By Saturday they were gone. I loved Milk Tray. Not so keen now, they've changed them all and I don't like them. And they've taken my Turkish Delight away as well. So no, but back then, a box of Milk Tray, I loved it. Also, bless his heart, we'd only been going out about 4 months. I mean, we saw each other every day because we worked, in the same road. So we'd see each other for lunch most days, and then he'd come to our house. He lived in a bedsit. He moved out of his mum and dad's and he moved into a bedsit. Pokey little thing, it was horrible. But yeah, so he used to come to our house most days. But yeah, I'd only known him about 4 months, 4 or 5 months, and I got glandular fever. Oh, I was so ill with it. It was awful. But I got it in the August, and I was off work for about 7, 8 weeks. Terrible. I was bedridden. I couldn't do anything, and it made me so weak. And yeah, bless him. My mum used to work for a school, so she was off in the August when I got it, so she was at home. But when Mum went back to work, bless him, he took 2 weeks off work, and he used to come round every day. And if I was upstairs, he'd come up and sit in the bedroom with me while I was asleep, or he'd go downstairs while I was sleeping. But if I wanted anything, he'd bring it up. And then over the 2 weeks, I felt a little bit better and I'd want to get up. But so he'd come up, help me go down the stairs, and then I'd lay on the settee and fall asleep again, and bless his heart, so he just sat there. Yeah, 2 weeks he took off work to just be with me. Oh, bless him. Back to adverts now. That was just a little, sorry, go off on a tangent, don't I? Another one, do you remember Fry's Turkish Delight? I love Fry's Turkish Delight. It's my favourite, but it has to be in the fridge, so you crunch into it. Oh, it's lovely. Yeah, do you remember the advert for that though? They was in a desert, weren't they? Riding, I presume camels. I don't know. I don't actually remember the advert. I know it was on and I've seen it lots of times, but yeah, Fry's Turkish Delight. So that's the adverts that they're the ones I actually remember watching. Things we used to wear. Well, we used to call them bell bottoms, but I think they were just flares. But they used to come down fairly straight down your leg to your knee, didn't they? And then from your knee, they bell out, I suppose. So yeah, but it was a flare. But we always called them bell bottoms. But I had a couple of pairs of them. Hot pants. Well, actually, no, I used to wear hot pants. Actually, if I can find the photo, I'll put it in. I'll also, at this point, if I find the photo, put in my, do you remember my question and answer video? And I talked about my little green skirt that I made and my red top and, was it red top? Orange top, red cardigan. If I can find that photo, I will actually go up and see if I can find that. I will look through all my photos and I'll see if I can find those 2 photos. If I do, they're here. Oh, and platform shoes. Do you remember? I think you can still buy platforms, can't you? But I used to love wearing a platform because I'm so small. I suppose I used to love wearing a platform. It just gave you a little bit more confidence, just that little bit more height. And I could walk in them. Well, back then I could walk in them. I can hardly walk in this sort of hill now, but back then, oh, it was brilliant, wasn't it? Lift you up a bit. Yeah. And jumpsuits as well back then. I used to love jumpsuits. I think I said I had a couple. They were really nice, so comfortable. I mean, back then you didn't have to get out of them too quick to go for a wee, did you? Now, no chance. No chance. Sorry. Toys or games that I used to play with. Now, I never had one of these, but my friend who I borrowed the skates off, remember? Used to have a skate each. Yeah, her. She had an Etch-a-Sketch. Oh, it was. I could never do it. She could work the buttons and do and do lovely things. Me, I'd be all over the place. But yeah, I used to really love it. Etch-a-Sketch. And then, oh, I used to play marbles. Do you remember the marbles? I used to roll them and we used to roll them up against the wall, see who would go further. Sorry, see who used to get the furthest. Yeah, that was good. Jacks, do you remember Jacks? Used to have, I think that was that a marble you used it? And the Jacks, they were like, oh, I don't know what they were. They were called Jacks. I don't know how to describe them. If I can find a picture, I'll put them in. But you used to have to throw the marble. You used to drop the Jacks on the floor, throw the marble up in the air, and still looking at the marble, you used to reach down and see how many Jacks you could pick up. Or you used to have to pick up like 1, then 2, then 3, or something like that, didn't you? Yeah. I used to love playing Jacks. I don't know if it's called Jacks everywhere else, but that's what we called it. Oh, the Mousetrap game came out then. I used to love it, but it took so long to set it up, and it was over within seconds, wasn't it? All round, and it was over, finished. Goodness. Oh, another, I didn't have one of these, but Stretch Armstrong was out back then as well, where you rubber man, wasn't he, and you'd pull him. You can still get them as well now, I think. Barbie, I never had a Barbie. I had a Cindy. Cindy? Yeah, Cindy. Oh, we used to play tag as well. And another one we used to get my our neighbours was also awful. Knock down ginger. I don't know if it's called that all over, but that's what we used to call it. You'd knock on someone's door and run and hide, and they'd come out, and there would be no one there. And you know, after about the third go, I used to get right peeved, shall we say, with it. And to be fair, it was normally the older people that we knocked on because they took longer to get to the door. Bad, wasn't it? But it was good fun. Yeah, played that a lot actually. Then I've got sort of just random things that I remember. There was a couple of soaps out. One was Lux, but the one my mum always had was, what's it called? Lifebuoy. Yeah, that's the one mum and they were always bars of soap, weren't they, back then? Probably that's why I like the bar of soap now, but yeah, Lifebuoy was what mum had. And Fairy Snow. That's the soap powder mum used to use, Fairy Snow. And then she went on to Tide. Yeah. And it was Fairy Snow and Tide. That's all I ever remember mum using. And then there used to be the Mum roll-on deodorant. Can you still get Mum? I don't know, actually. Don't know if you can get it or not. But yeah, the Mum deodorant. I think that was the main one back then. That's the one I remember anyway. And then they brought out Shake and Vac. You know, you shake it on your carpet and then vacuum it up. I think you can still get that now as well, can't you? I don't know if it's still called that or not, but you can get something, can't you, for your carpet? And then, what else have I got? Formica. Do you remember Formica? Like the sticky back plastic thing, wasn't it? But it was more heavy duty than that. But yeah, Formica. The advert was with Jack Warner out of Dixon of Dock Green. Do you remember that? I'll find it. I'll put it up here. Yeah. And then the different toothpastes. Don't get me started on that again. Oh, there's lots of adverts that wind me up. Really wind me up. Yeah. The next thing I thought I would talk about is music. And I took a look back, you know, through the Google again, and I looked up #1 Christmas albums of the year. So from 1960 all the way through the 60s and the 70s to 1979. So I made a note and I thought I would just read them out to you and see if you remember any of them. Right, I knew this one anyway, as you can imagine, but 1960 was I Love You by Cliff Richard. 1961 was Moon River by Danny Williams. 1962 was Return to Sender by Elvis. 1963 was I Want to Hold Your Hand by the Beatles. 1964 was I Feel Fine by the Beatles. 1965 was, but it's a double A side. There was Day Tripper and We Can Work It Out by the Beatles. 1966, my mum's favourite singer, Tom Jones with Green Green Grass of Home. 1967, Hello Goodbye, the Beatles. 1968, Lily the Pink by The Scaffold. Do you remember that one? Funny that was. I had most of these. In fact, so far I've got all of these. 1969, Two Little Boys by Rolf Harris. We'll skip over that. 1970, I Hear You Knocking, Dave Edmunds. Don't think I had that one. Don't remember that one. 1971, Ernie by Benny Hill. I used to like that. My dad's name was Ernie. I love that. 1972, Long Haired Lover from Liverpool by Jimmy Osmond. 1973, this was actually the first Christmas song at Christmas. Excuse me. was Merry Christmas Everybody by Slade. Love that. 1974 was Lonely This Christmas, Mud. 1975, Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. I think that's been a number one twice, is it? Or 3 times? I'm not sure. Definitely twice. It could even be 3 times. I'm not sure if it's always been a Christmas number one though. But I think it was number one in the 90s at some point. And then again another time, I can't remember. Where am I up to? 1976, When a Child is Born, Johnny Mathis. 1977, Mull of Kintyre by Wings. Like that as well, that was a good song. I've liked them all so far, to be honest with you. 1978, Mary's Boy Child by Boney M. They had a few, didn't they? And then 1979, Another Brick in the Wall by Pink Floyd. Not my sort of music, but yeah. So I just thought I would reminisce a bit really about childhood and, you know, what it was like back then and what we watched and wore and listened to, and yeah, but hopefully I'll have put in photos, well, all the ones I can find. And I think that is it. Let me just check. Yeah. If there's any you can think of, let me know in the comments. But, I mean, that was just a few that I remembered. And then while I was looking for one, something else would pop up. And oh, yeah, I remember that. But, yeah, used to love some of them, the adverts. Anyway, don't get me started again. But, yeah, that is it. I just thought I'd talk about when I was younger and, you know, what we did. And I was quite happy being at home, to be fair, with my mum and dad. I would have stayed there if I hadn't got married. But, you know, I loved it at home. Had a really lovely time. We got on so well, my mum and dad, my 2 brothers, and it was just amazing. Back then, it was absolutely amazing. I mean, life changed. I mean, my life's amazing now. But, you know, when you think back, I just had such a brilliant childhood. And young adult as well. Yeah, I loved it. Really loved it. So that was it. As I say, I can't now off the top of my head think of any more. But if there's any programs you used to watch, or oh, my mum used to love Z Cars. Yeah, we watched that as well. Oh, I'll tell you what else I watched, just come to my head, what else I used to watch. Dr. Kildare with Richard Chamberlain. Oh, tell you, Dr. Kildare. He was lovely, wasn't he? Well, I don't know what people would think of him now. I'll show my grandsons, you know, photos of Cliff when he was younger, saying, oh, he's beautiful. He was gorgeous. And they look at me as if to say, get a life, Nan. But, you know, to me, he's gorgeous. Yeah, I can't think of any more now. You know, I'll switch this off and I will think of loads. Absolutely loads of things that we did or that I watched, or, you know, and that it'll probably be something that I really liked and I can't even bring it to mind, because you forget, don't you? I mean, we are going back 50 years. It's a long time to remember. But, yeah, let me know if you think of anything. Stick it in the comments. Stick it in the comments. Put it in the comments, and I'll get back to you. Also, I don't know what's happened, but I'm getting a few comments like come up that were posted a few days back, 4 or 5 days back, So I'm sorry if you're one of the lovely people that has put a comment up and I haven't answered. Please don't think it's because I've just not done it. It's not come up. So, and I've not seen it. But if I've got, what I try to do is go back to my last, 4 or 5 uploads and see if there's any that have come in that I've not answered. And if there is, then I will answer them. But please don't think I'm not answering any comments, because I answer every single one that comes up. But I think someone else said they had an issue with that as well. And yeah, so right. So I hope you're all well. It's brightened up again now. It got really, really dark, so I put the light on. But it's all sunny again now. Not very warm, but I'm due to go out in about an hour and a half, meeting up with some friends that I used to work with. We meet up every few weeks, well, every sort of 5 or 6 weeks. Have a bit of lunch. So that's what I'll be doing today. And then when I come back from there, I'll be up in the loft looking for those photos for you. So I hope I found them and you've seen them and had a good old laugh. Especially my lovely outfit. Oh, I hope I can find them now and put them up for you. But anyway, that is it. I hope you're all well, keeping dry, keeping warm, keeping safe. Thank you to all my new subscribers, and as ever, thank you to my returning viewers who come back and watch me up time after time after time and leave comments time after time. I am so grateful to you. I really am so grateful to you. Excuse me. And I do love doing this. I really do. And it's a bit of a weird thing, isn't it? Just sitting here talking to your camera. My husband's not in, by the way. I'm sorry about that as well. Oh dear. It's all explained in the video before this if you haven't seen it. Yeah. So take care. Someone actually, there was a couple of comments about things I could do. So I may well do that. You'll see that coming up. I've also was thinking of maybe doing a craft. I know everyone's not liking crafts, and that's fine. Obviously, if it's something you don't want to watch, then that's fine. It wouldn't be a long one, and I don't know, it might be next week. I was looking around. I'm going to have a look out today when I go out, actually, see if I can get some Valentine's bits and just do maybe a couple of really easy short crafts. So that may be coming up next week. Or it depends if I get them. If I get them, I might even put it up for my next video, because as yet I haven't got anything planned for Friday's video. So yeah, take care. I'm rambling again now, aren't I? But everyone seems to like, well, a lot of people, I got a lot of comments on my last one, which was a chatty one. So I hope you'll come back. Take care. See you soon. Bye.